Okie dokie, I am back. Yes, today I am doing the testimony of the Prophet Joseph Smith, which is kind of vital since he was the one that was commanded to, or chosen, foreordained, which means he would have been chosen before he was born by God, to bring forth the Book of Mormon. And those of you who have no idea who Joseph Smith is or his level of education, he was a farm boy in New York in America in the 1800s. He had very little education. So the ability for him to do what he was asked to do was a big, monumental task. And that is why what he really explained was, I did it by the gift and power of God, because there was no other way he could do it. So, without further ado, we're going to go straight into it. The Prophet Joseph Smith's own words about the coming forth of the Book of Mormon are: on the evening of the 21st of September, 1823, I betook myself to prayer and supplication to Almighty God. While I was thus in the act of calling upon God, I discovered a light appearing in my room, which continued to increase until the room was lighter than at noonday. I've always tried to imagine what that's like. I have tried to sillily look at the sun at midday, and it's horribly hard. Don't do it. Not a good idea. When immediately a personage appeared at my bedside, standing in the air, for his feet did not touch the floor. He had on a loose robe of most exquisite whiteness. It was a whiteness beyond anything earthly I had ever seen, nor do I believe that anything earthly could be made to appear so exquisitely right, so exceedingly white and brilliant. His hands were naked, and his arms also, a little above the wrist, so about here. So also were his feet naked, as were his legs, a little above the ankles. His head and neck were also bare. I could discover that he had no other clothing on but this robe, as it was open so that I could see into his bosom. Not only was his robe exceedingly white, but his whole person was glorious beyond description. He was lost for words. He didn't know how to describe it. It was just that exquisite and amazing. And his countenance, truly like lightning. The room was exceedingly light, so this exceeded all the light he had ever before experienced, but not so very bright as immediately around his person. When I first looked upon him, I was afraid, but the fear soon left me. He called me by name and said unto me that he was a messenger sent from the presence of God to me, and that his name was Moroni, that God had a work for me to do, and that my name, not mine, but his, should be had for good and evil. Reminds me of those pantomimes. Boo! Among all nations, kindreds, tongues, and all that it should be both good and evil spoken of among all people. Sorry if you got lost in that.